Hey everyone, Brad here for Side B, and it's time for a review of this new Gäelle album, All the Things I Can't Say. Gäelle is an up-and-coming R&B singer from Montreal, one of a million artists that I've heard while doom scrolling and getting ads for music on Instagram. These days, I'm flooded with so much music that I honestly can't remember the first song I heard from her, but she must be doing something right because it's been over a year and she's still in my rotation to this day. And she's been dropping singles consistently and growing pretty steadily. I think she had like 10K followers when I first got hip to her, and she's at like 40 or 50K now. So I felt it necessary to get a full review of her album out before she goes all superstar on everyone. And this is for you guys too, anyone who might be watching, go check this album out when you get a chance. I know I'm kind of spoiling things a bit, but I like this project. It's decent. It's not perfect, but it's got a lot of promise, and this album should be the first statement you absorb from her to see if she's your cup of tea. But to get into the review proper, I do gotta clarify one thing. Don't judge the intro track too hard. That's where most of my gripes with this album lie. The song Searching, it just feels like such a nothing burger of a song compared to everything else on the record. And it's one of the weaker displays of writing throughout this project too, like the repeated lines of, I wanna fuck with you, I wanna fuck on you. Like, I guess the cleanest way I can say it is, it just feels like a first draft, and I'd hope for deeper lyrics in my R&B rotation. But thankfully, this doesn't last long as we head into one of the record's biggest highlights, one of my top 10 most listened to songs last year, I'm the One. And this is where she really flexes her talents. This girl can write a fucking hook and deliver it like no one else can. I can't believe you think it's her or me. Her or me. If this ain't good enough for you, baby, then I got to leave. The passion in her delivery, the way everything is layered to feel so overwhelming, like you're really feeling the onset of emotion she's letting off in this track. There's just so much. There's a reason why it became like my top 2 song of last year. I was going through some shit for real, and when I put this song on, it felt like she was talking me through it. It felt like she was helping me out of it, giving me, you know, the confidence to get through what I was going through. And the production stays interesting into the next track, Shut Me Up, with some very Pharrell-coded
percussion.
You know, rim shots that set the rhythm, a deep-ass 808, and a breath sound instead of a snare. This is the exact type of quirkiness that made so many beats in the 2000s so memorable. The tune isn't all the way there like the last track. This one opts for a more mysterious, airy, classic girl group type of aura, and it works well enough. Her voice and the beat definitely carry this one. And then she just keeps the heat coming with the next track, Cancer, easily the best song on this album, possibly her best song yet. It's this dramatic, hard-on-sleeve piece of piano balladry, something that would soundtrack a teary-eyed walk back home after a night out gone wrong. And I really love the structure too, the way the vocals and the beat sort of slowly open up between each section of the song. Like her voice starts out as this hushed mutter over just some piano, almost like she herself in the middle of her own song is trying not to cry. Then it gets a bit more open on the bridge all the way to a full-out explosion with some drums coming in on the chorus. If I had to compare it to anything, I'd say it reminds me of My Dear Melancholy era The Weeknd, what with how grand but also grim it is at the same time. And yeah, you could get away with saying this is another unimpressive lyrical showing. Like if you told me these lyrics sound like a Snapchat story saying, going through it right now, no one hit me up, I wouldn't argue with you, but fuck that, bro. Fuck all that snobby critic shit. This song is awesome. I love the way she delivers these lyrics. She really does have the kind of voice that could carry what I think is a bit subpar writing and still make hits out of that kind of lyricism nonetheless. And she doesn't let up after this one. The next track is called Hot, which is a bit of an abrupt tone switch for the album, but it's still a great song in its own right. The lyrics are all these flirty food to sex puns, and that's never been my thing, and honestly still isn't. They just remind me of that guy on TikTok who makes thirst traps of him baking, you know, like slapping around and fingering dough. Like, that's the only thing I can think of when I hear food to sex bars in songs. But this track goes way too hard for me to care, bro. If you look at her Apple Music bio, you'll see a section where she's asked about her 3 favorite albums, and one of the albums she lists is Positions by Ariana Grande. And you can tell she was a big Arianator during that era because this song sounds exactly like what Ariana Grande was doing on Positions back then. You know, a beat that's a flirty mix of trap, pop, and R&B, lyrics that would deserve horny jail if they weren't delivered so wittily. This song has the whole 9 yards. And Gäelle, just in case you're watching this, I know you're on the metric system. That's 8 meters for you. Don't worry, I got you. Oh my god, I'm so corny. But no, for real, I can't play clips because I'll get copyrighted, but let me just read some of these bars. Got some icing on your lip, hold up, let me get that for you. Got some spilling out the tip, hold on, let me lick that for you. Like, oh shit! I know these sound just like the meme, go to horny jail, bonk. But damn, like, do y'all feel that? It really is kind of getting hot in here. Boy, if you don't get... But anyway, the record wraps up with two similarly titled tracks, Poor You and Missing You. The former is kind of like what happens after I'm the One. If that song was about her realizing she's with some bum-ass, cheating-ass dude and kicking him to the curb, Poor You is kind of like her seeing him out somewhere, embarrassing himself, and just thinking, whew, glad I dodged that bullet. And then Missing You is an okay track, but a weird pick for an outro. The sequencing of this album in general is excuse me. The sequencing of this album in general is just kind of peculiar, but I'll get to that in a second. Missing You instrumentally is in the same vein as Hot, you know, Ariana Grande, pop, trap, R&B type beat and all. And you could probably tell from the title that this song is about missing someone, but who? Is it the person she wrote about on I'm the One and Poor You? If no, then who is this person? And if yes, why did this song not come way earlier in the track list? Like I said, it's a fine song, but in the context of the closer to this album, it just doesn't make much sense. So this is where I'm gonna start a new segment, track list transformations, where I take albums that are good, but the track lists feel kind of just like compilations of songs, and I reorder them to see if I can come up with a logical flow for all the songs. I just came up with that name on the fly, by the way. I don't think this is gonna be a reoccurring series. It's just a thing I'm doing for this video. Because that's my main issue with this album. I just find the order of the songs to be a bit weird. And keep in mind, this is just my opinion. It's not gospel. She could have her own entirely valid reasons why she chose to structure the track list this way. But these are just my thoughts. It's my video. You know the vibes. If it were up to me, I'd just get rid of Searching entirely and make Cancer the intro. I get what she was going for on Searching. You know, you want to throw a little teaser, a little warm-up track out there. You don't want to give away your best songs right off the bat. But that's not the only way to do it. In some cases, you really do want to lead with your best foot forward, and I think this album was one of them. This track and the emotion behind it is so crazy. I bet it'd be the type of song to get people thinking like, God damn, this girl is going through a lot. What the fuck is up with her? I gotta stick around to hear more. Then we get Missing You. I'm assuming these songs are all about one person, by the way. And yeah, after the mental breakdown that is Cancer, we wind up reminiscing on a fling or a situationship from a while back that we know was bad for us. But these feelings of missing them or whatever we're going through in our own personal lives lead to us calling them up, and we try to get into some action. That's where we get to the next track, Hot. Now they're coming over. Shit is going down. It's starting to get a little steamy in here. Oh my God. And then after Hot, something must have gone bad with this person, and we finally realize that they're not for us. That's where we get Shut Me Up. It's pretty similar to I'm the One lyrically, just a quieter and softer expression of those feelings. So it makes sense to have this track land before we escalate to I'm the One, and we've fully kicked this person out of our lives, finally realize that we're that bitch, we deserve better, and we get rid of them. If you think you got to choose between us two, don't pick me. You know the vibes. And then we end on Poor You, where we've kicked this person to the curb. They're in our rearview mirror, and we have our little laugh as we drive off moment to close the record. This order makes much more sense to me, but that's not the album we got. I'm here to review what was actually presented to me, and thankfully, it's not that bad. Gäelle is an amazing vocalist. She can write bangers and ballads to an equal degree, and can really sell the emotion behind any song she gets on. And the production she's on is solid too, a little derivative here and there, but solid nonetheless. My only issues with this album are the tracklist order, like I said, and her pen game, bro. It pains me to have to say this because I'm a really big fan of her. But I gotta keep it real, man. There were too many lyrics on here that made me do a side eye, and most of them were clustered towards the beginning, especially that intro track. I'm really not a fan of that song, and placing it right at the beginning of the album was a genuine misstep in my opinion. It really causes the album to get off on the wrong foot. But it's only a minute and a half long, so it's barely a hindrance to the overall quality and strong potential she shows on here. And to be clear, I'm not expecting super intricate lyrical content from her. Hip-hop more than has me covered on that front. It's just some of these lines read like Twitter posts. That's the best way I can explain. There's clearly real emotion behind these lyrics. I can tell by her voice, but the words that are being sung to me just ring a little bit shallow. But I won't belabor this point too much because it's really hard to notice on the good moments of the album. When you're bawling your eyes out to Cancer or blocking your ex to I'm the One, the lyric writing does not ruin these songs, not even close. I just noticed it lacking enough that I felt I needed to point it out in a review. But that just makes me more excited for whenever she drops her next album. She's a real talent and I can't wait to see her improve. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this one, and that's my spin on things. How do you feel about this record? Did it slap? Did it stink? Let me know what you think. Tell me what I should review next and what all you want to see from me. Brad, Gäelle, all the things I can't say forever.